Hello everybody, this is DragonCBW, and I'm back with another Python tutorial. Of course today we're going to be covering lists in more detail and dictionaries, and those two things kind of go together. So let's jump right in. I'm going to get started by creating a new Python document. If you haven't seen me do this before, you should probably check out my other tutorials. I've got 3 of them already. This is the 4th one. So, yeah, gonna create my document. I'll just name it lists and dictionaries .py. That is a long name. Enter insert mode. Type in the magical line of code at the top. And also, I'm sick, so I am sorry. There will probably be a little bit of sniffing. I got kind of a stuffy nose, and you might be able to tell from my voice that I'm a little bit congested. Anyway, we're going to be starting out with lists. I already did a little bit on them in the 2nd episode, but I'm just going to kind of reiterate that and do some new stuff. So again, you declare them with brackets. I'll just say lists are cool. I need to put this in a string. Lists are cool. You know what? I'm actually going to switch these. So it says lists cool are. And then when it starts up, it's going to, we're going to use a little bit of stuff from the last episode for item in L. Print item. Alright, so as you know, this will print lists. What we actually need to do here is we actually need to have it print them in order. So what we're going to do is type in print L0, print L2, print L1, and that will print them in order. And in case you don't know, when you're accessing a list, I think I went over this in the 2nd episode, but when you're accessing a list, you have to use the index method. So in this list, for instance, the first thing is 0, the second thing is 1, the third thing is 2. Alright, so let's run it, and it'll say lists are cool. And of course we can concatenate that into one line, but I don't really care. We're not going over that right now. So let's move on to the next thing. We can find the length of a list with, I believe it's like that. And it'll say 3. If we want to add something to the list, we can say l.append. We'll just say yeah, and then print L. So now it'll print lists cool R, it appends it, and then it says prints lists cool R yeah, which is a really weird phrase. Now if you want to delete something, you have to use list.remove. So we will do l.remove cool, and you can't use the index for that. You actually have to type in the item, and so it's removed it. And then we could reappend cool, and then it'll say lists are cool. So that's a few things. You can also use list.insert, And for list.insert, it will insert an object at a given index. So let's say we want to insert it at the very beginning. We would type 0, and then we would type what object we want, which we will type in blah, because I don't know what else to put. And then it will say list school R, and then it'll insert blah, and say blah list school R. And I'm going to change this because I'm really getting tired of saying list school R. So I'm going to change it to 1, 4, 2. And then it'll insert 78 at the beginning. Alright, so let's see, what else can we do with lists? There's a lot. You can use, let's say we want to see how many times an object appears in a list. We will use list.count. So the way we do that is by just typing that in, and then you type in the object you want to search for. So if you type in 4, because 4 appears once in this list, it should return 1. And I actually need to print that instead of just telling it to do it. And that should work. Yep, it says 1 because it appears once. Now let's say we want to have it appear twice. I'll just go ahead and do l.append 4, and now it appears twice. You can also use, let's say you want to have it go into like alphabetical order or numerical order. We can use l.sort, and we have to put parentheses at the end of that. And if we do that, it'll sort them into numerical order. And if we have strings in here, it'll put them in alphabetical order. So if I type in alpha, beta, and like cats, it should print them in that order. And if I change it up to where I have beta first and alpha second, it should still print it in the same order, and it does. Another thing we can do, which is sort of like l.count, except instead of counting how many times something appears in a list, it sees where something is in the list. We can use list.index to find where something first appears in a list. So keep in mind, this won't actually do, it won't print two things if it appears multiple times. It'll just print wherever it appears first. So for this one, it should print 1 because the index of alpha is 1, and it does. So that's a bunch of different things with lists, and there's one last thing I want to show you with lists. You actually have to actually use a separate module for this, and that is the random module. So with random, we will just have to change this up. In the random module, there is a method called shuffle, and if we use shuffle on L, we actually have to type random.shuffle, then it will shuffle that list and put all those things into a random order. So now it prints them the way they are first, and then it prints them the way they are after it's shuffled it. We can do it again, it's different again, it's different again, so that's useful if you want to do some randomization. Of course, the random module does have a lot of other methods as well for making random integers and different stuff. So next, we will do a little bit on dictionaries, and then I'll end the episode. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to remove random and pretty much everything from this. And so what a dictionary is it's not what you would think. It's not, I mean, it's similar to a Webster's or a online American English dictionary or whatever, in that you can define different objects within it, but it is different in that it is not actually a dictionary. Like, if you create a dictionary, you can't use it to do spell checking or anything. You'd have to download a separate module for Python for that, which there are a few of, but we're not really going to talk about that today. So, to create a dictionary, you have to type in the name of the dictionary. We'll just name it dict, and then in curly brackets, you will put your keys and your objects. And within these curly brackets, you're going to put your keys and the values of the keys. And that may seem a little bit weird at first, but I'll show you what I mean. So this is useful if you don't want everything to be arranged by index, because it won't be. This is only useful if you want to arrange your stuff by names. So it's sort of like a big variable storage bank, except you can use numbers as variable names. So for the dictionary, we'll just use some strings. We'll say grapes, colon, oranges, monkeys, baboons. And I don't know why I'm using those examples, I just am. And then if we want to find the value of grapes, we just type dict grapes. So let's print that, actually. And it should print oranges, because we've assigned grapes to oranges. Now, if we want to delete something from the dictionary, we will type in del for delete, and then dict for dictionary, and whatever key it is. So if we type in grapes here, it will delete it, and then it won't exist for it to print, so it'll give us an error. Let's see. You can also add a key / value to a dictionary simply by typing in the name of the dictionary and then the name of the key you want. So we'll just do key equals car. Why not? And then let's make it print key. So let me just go over this one last time. The dictionary contains grapes, oranges as one pair, and then monkeys, baboons as another pair. And then we're going to delete grapes out of it, so that will delete grapes and its value oranges. And then we're going to add a key called key to it with a value of car. And then we're going to print the value of key, which should be car. And it is. You can also simply get the entire dictionary just by printing it like that, and it'll print it. And you can also print the keys, or just get the keys by typing in dictionary.keys. with parentheses, and then it'll print the two keys that we have in there. And you can also do that with values to get the values. And the one last thing I want to go over, which is pretty much a no-brainer, but if you want to set the value of a key, you just need to type in the value of the key you want. So key, which is already existing at this point, and we will set it to lard for absolutely no reason. We'll just print the entire dictionary, and we'll do that up here too, just so you can see the difference. And so you can see it changes the value of key from car to lard. So yeah, that's the end of this episode. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed. I really hope your car keys don't have lard on them. And next time we're going to be talking about some practical applications for Python, and maybe going over some of the modules in Python. So, yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.